Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to the Cloud Foundry Summit Virtual Edition for 2021. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about where we are as a community, where we're going, as well as give you some updates, little bits of news from the project, and announce our amazing community award winners for this year. So if we think back over the last, year and a half, we've lived in really tumultuous times. The global pandemic has been just devastating to communities around the world. Organizations have had to reinvent themselves in order to stay relevant, alive, and able to service their customers. But the same thing could kind of be said for the Cloud Foundry community. We've experienced a lot of change in our ecosystem. We've experienced a lot of change in the world of open source projects around us. And we've always talked about the need to embrace change. This is something that our community has espoused to the end user companies for many years. And it's frankly something that we have a long history of doing, of evolving our technology, of embracing new projects, of continually refining the developer experience that is known as the CF push experience. It's incredibly important that we keep in mind that this is just baked into who we are and what we do. But as we come out of a rather difficult year and a half for the world, it may seem like we're reaching a point where we're in calm waters. And in some sense we are, but we still have much further to go. And so there's three things that I want us to all keep in mind during this event, yes, but also more broadly. The first is that we're in the midst of fundamentally redefining the way that our community operates. We successfully ran our first technical oversight committee election. That group is already hard at work trying to put together a working group structure that's going to be most efficient and effective for all of our various project communities. The next thing we need to do is make sure that we keep charting the right path forward, keeping in mind that the world around us will continue to change, keeping in mind that new technology will continue to evolve. We need to chart that path forward in a way that brings us forward year by year. And we need to do that with a continued commitment to the users. Now, this commitment to users was demonstrated this year through the enormous effort to bring the Bosch stem cells up to date with the latest version of Ubuntu. That's just one example, but there's so many examples throughout our community of where we maintain this commitment to the users, whether it's on new platforms and technologies or whether it's on the virtual machine-based Cloud Foundry. Let's keep that commitment to the users. Let's continue to use them as a way to ground ourselves and remember why we're navigating these waters together. And I've used this analogy before. Projects need to have change baked into their DNA. Your ability to navigate change in the open source world as a community, as technologies, is something that we've demonstrated time and time again. Let's keep up the change, let's continue to push forward, and let's have an exciting remainder of 2021. Now, turning our focus to the event, the reason why you're all here. We have some amazing activities lined up for you today and tomorrow. First thing I want to ask is that for those of you that use social media, Twitter in particular, please use the hashtag CF Summit, share your experience, share the insights that you get, talk about the benefit that you're getting interacting with each other, collaborating with each other. There's a lot of great stuff for you to share. Use the hashtag CF Summit. Now later today, we have an amazing keynote scheduled. The Social Responsibility of Software Engineers by Corleen Emke, founder and director of the Organization for Ethical Source. This is the type of embracing of our responsibility as software engineers. This is the type of topic about embracing our responsibility as software engineers to really drive progress in society. It's something that Cloud Foundry's community has done consistently, with our focus on aiming for diversity, our focus on aiming for inclusivity, and our focus on thinking about the ethics of the software that we build and how do we build software that does good in this world. So I really encourage everyone to make sure that you attend this closing keynote today. It's great. Other items, a little bit later additions to the schedule. We have 2 hands-on labs this year. The first one is Try Cloud Foundry. Now, this one is specifically for those of you that might be new to Cloud Foundry technology, for those of you that might not be as hands-on as a group of technologists or as a technologist as you'd like to be, but you want to experience what we're talking about when we talk about the developer experience that Cloud Foundry provides. So I highly encourage new attendees or people that are new to the technology. Later today, that's at 1:25 p.m. Central Daylight Time. That's the time zone that the whole schedule is based on, U.S. Central Daylight Time. The second hands-on lab is moving from Docker files to build packs. Now, this is being run by the Paketo build pack project team. That's going to be tomorrow, about 12:20 p.m. Central Daylight Time. It should be a lot of fun, in particular for those of you that might be not just interested in understanding how Cloud Foundry works, but one of the core concepts that's increasingly being adopted throughout the cloud native world using build packs. We also have 3 of our project leads or project teams that are hosting office hours during the course of the next 2 days. The Bosch project will be hosting one today at 10:25 a.m. The networking project is also going to be today at 11:30 a.m., right? So about 1 hour apart, you can hit either one of those. And then tomorrow, the CLI project is going to be hosting a project office hour, again at 11:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Definitely stop by to check those out. I want to take a minute to thank our sponsors. This event is not run for profit. We look to sponsors to help defer the cost. It's very important that these organizations have stepped up to sponsor this. And so we want to thank the VMware Tanzu team for its platinum sponsorship, Any9's IBM Cloud and SAP for their gold level sponsorship, and Stark and Wayne at the bronze level. Again, thank you to each one of these companies. If all of you could just do me a favor, swing by their virtual booth at some point over the next 2 days, even if it's just to say thank you. We really appreciate these companies' commitment to the community. It's how we're able to get all together, and they'll appreciate the thanks. Okay, with that, let's turn a little bit to one of the bits of news that we put out there for the press. If you're paying attention to all the different Cloud Foundry projects, there are releases happening all the time. But there happened to be a release recently from the CF for Kates project. They released version 5. It's a bump in the versions of a number of different underlying technologies, and it includes some new capabilities that have been built into things like the Cloud Controller. So it's worth taking a look at. So for those of you that might not have used CF for Kates yet, you might be asking, well, what is this? Well, this is one of the different approaches that's out there for taking Cloud Foundry and putting it on top of Kubernetes, deeply integrating it with Kubernetes. It's proven to be very attractive to smaller teams. It's got a small footprint, easy to install, and we're starting to see a lot more organic adoption by small organizations and small teams using the CF for Kates project. So what's in version 5? A couple of interesting things. So the first is a new application support role. Again, this is something that it's new and it's early. It's technically in preview right now, but it's in that release, and you can give it a shot there. You can also give it a shot if you update to the latest version of Cloud Foundry through the classic virtual machine-based architecture. But CF for Kates version 5 also includes the latest generation of the Paketo build packs, which is an up-to-date implementation of those build packs using the latest cloud-native build pack spec. The Istio service mesh upgrade process has been greatly improved. That's been a little bit difficult release after release. A lot of the core Cloud Foundry components have been updated, which is how you get new capabilities like the app support role. And we support, and the project now supports KPAC 031, Istio 195, and then it can run on Kubernetes clusters running version 1.18 through 1.20. So if you haven't looked at CF for K8s yet, I think now is a great time to take a look. Version 5 was recently released. Give it a shot. It should be a lot of fun and make development a lot easier on top of Kube. Okay. Now, last but not least, I wanted to do a few community award announcements. So these are the awards that are by the community, for the community. They are awards that are given out after community members nominate each other. We have 3 categories of awards this year. We have the Awesome Advocate, we have Committed Contributor, and we have the Inspirational User. So we really want to thank all of the participants in the nomination process. It was wonderful to hear all the great things that are happening in the community. And we're choosing to highlight not just 3, but in fact 5 different winners this year. And so without further ado, I'll step through them. So our first is the Awesome Advocate. And so congratulations to Ashley Gerwitz from Stark and Wayne. Ashley just brings so much energy to the community. She's always around. She's on those cab calls. She's doing a lot of things to help advocate for the Cloud Foundry technology, the community, and she's just done an amazing job on behalf of everyone involved. So congratulations, Ashley. The next winner is the whole team that worked on the Ubuntu Bionic stem cells for Bosch. This was a big effort, and not only was it the effort of being able to provide bionic-based stem cells, but it's an ongoing effort to make sure that there's an open, community-driven CI process for releasing these, that it's possible for new contributors to get involved in support of these new stem cells. And I'm looking forward to the further work that this type of community engagement is going to drive as we update CF deployment, and kind of roll these updates throughout the community. So you can see that there's a long list of people involved in this. I'm not going to go through every person's name, but I just want all of you to know, thank you so much for all of your help. They're from a variety of different employers as well, although largely anchored at SAP in Germany. So again, congratulations to the whole team that was involved in the Bionic Stem Cell project. Next up, Andrew Whitrock, member of the technical staff over at VMware. He's been a key contributor and advocate for the CF for K8s effort. He's done an amazing job over the past 6 months, navigating lots of change within our community, within our ecosystem. If you're watching the evolution of that project, you'll see that there's a bunch of experimentation now occurring to just, even more deeply change the way that we integrate into Kubernetes. So great stuff. Andrew's been a pleasure to work with. And so congratulations to Andrew. Amelia Downs, staff software engineer at VMware, largely been focused on the networking components of Cloud Foundry. She has been doing an enormous amount of work, showing how much you really deserve. She deserved that title of being a networking project lead within the App Runtime PMC. The applications don't get used without networking, and increasingly the complexity of networking is important to the platform, it's important to the users. And so I want to thank Amelia for all of that work and congratulate her for being awarded the Committed Contributor Award. All right, last but not least, Inspirational User. We want to thank Bronson Mazoka for his early adoption of CF for Kates. Tons of feedback he's flowing back to the project team. They're operating it in production at his employer. He continues to be active in helping community members, helping improve the project. I know that he's engaged with the Cloud Foundry Foundation's developer relations team several times in order to help them get it installed in different cloud environments. So it's just really been an amazing addition to our community. He's dived right in and really helped out the CF for Kates effort. So Bronson, thank you very much. You are an inspirational user for everyone. All right, and with that, I want to thank everyone for coming again to the Cloud Foundry Summit 2021. It is here for you, the community. Take it as an opportunity to collaborate. Take it as an opportunity to learn new things. Take it as an opportunity to catch up with people that you might not otherwise have time to catch up with. While we're not in person again, I still think that it's very important that we come together as the global community that we are. I look forward to talking to many of you throughout the next couple of days. And again, thank you for your time.